Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. So obviously we're going to be doing another doll unboxing today. This time we have got the Shadow High twins, Veronica and Naomi Storm, to look at. I know I'm like slightly behind. This isn't like the newest release from Shadow High or anything, but I've actually had these for a little bit. I want to say like a month or a month and a half ago, my husband bought these for me because he thought they were really cool. He knew that I wanted them and just was prioritizing other dolls. So he got them for me. Thank you, Tony. But yeah, I posted ages ago on my Instagram story that I had gotten them, and then immediately after the Neon Shadow line came out, there were a couple other dolls that came out, and then I didn't want to keep doing unboxing after unboxing after unboxing. So yeah, it's just been a little bit delayed, but we're finally getting to them today. I think I'm going to try to make this like a slightly quicker video just because it's not the newest doll. I don't know. I feel weird doing a review. Like I did a poll and you guys said that you still wanted me to see it. I guess I feel like other people have already put their opinions out there, so like why would anybody care about mine? I don't know. That's just like my insecurity talking. You guys said that you wanted to see it, so like here we go. Obviously these are the twins in box. I only agreed to let him get them for me because we were able to get them on sale. If you know, I'm sure you've heard by now the price of these twins was like ludicrous. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But this was actually the last one that we could find in our area. So there are already some paint defects that I can see. It is what it is. We're going to talk about it in depth once I get them out of box. I am going to go ahead and do that off camera real quick so that we actually can look at them and everything that they come with and all of their quality and just talk about the whole shebang. So I will be right back with you guys. I'm going to get that taken care of.
Okay, I've got the Storm twins unboxed, ready to go, ready to review. As per usual, we are going to start with kind of the extra stuff that they come with. It's not much this time. Obviously, they're both on their stands. And then we did get 2 combs, which, like, frankly seems a bit redundant to me. Like, they come in a 2-pack. They're not sold individually. I did not need 2 combs. To me, it's a bit of a waste. Like, maybe there's a situation that I'm not thinking of where it would be useful, but, like, I don't know. Then I just wanted to talk about these really quick because this like pushed my buttons for some reason. These are 2 little display boxes that you might have noticed while they were still unboxed that are like contained within the box with them, but they're completely empty. Like I knew that going in because I knew that they didn't come with any extra stuff, but I don't know, to me it seems, I don't know if misleading is quite the right word. That seems a little bit stronger than I want it to be. But like to include 2 boxes that have nothing in them, I don't know. I get that it's a packaging thing. Like I understand. I don't know. To me, it just seems wasteful. And it seems like maybe a kid who's buying this might think that there's something in there and then there's not. That's just my opinion. So like maybe I'm crazy, but it is what it is. But now we can actually get to the dolls. I'm going to start with Naomi. I'm almost 100% certain I have that right because she's the one that I was more excited for. Before we were able to get them at a better price, I actually was considering buying her separate online because I like her more. that sounds really mean. I like them both, but she's just my favorite. We'll talk about price at the very end. But yes, this is Naomi. Her face, beautiful, but we do have some problems. There's like a spot of black in her pastel layer of eyeshadow. That's a little bit sad because that one is going to be a lot trickier to fix than this next one. The next one is that her lips, there's like a little bit of glitter up above her lip line where it shouldn't be. That is an easy fix. That's just going to take a cotton swab and some acetone and I can get that off. So like that's not as big a deal. I think this eye is pretty good. Maybe a little light on the glitter here on the very, very end of her wing. But yeah, so it's definitely not a perfect face-up. Like I said, this was the last one available, so it wasn't like we had a ton of choices, at least in my area, and I kind of figured that if I were to get it online instead, it would be just as big a risk, you know? Like, at least this way I know what I'm working with. So, a little bit sad to see that she has the defects, because this is really a stunning face-up otherwise. Like, beautiful. Unbelievable. Hair, I love the colors that they use for these girls. Overall, the color scheme is completely amazing to me. I love dark color schemes. This is like, aside from talking about the quality issues, I do think this set really encapsulates what I was hoping for from Shadow High Series 1. Like, the black and white dolls are fine. I obviously have a couple of them, but I think this is vastly better. However, hair rooting wise, even from the top of her head, there's a big fat bald spot right here that you can see very clearly because of the way her hair is styled when the doll is just in her stand. I am hoping that I will be able to kind of fix that up when I wash her hair and restyle her so that it won't be as bad. But looking at the rest of the rooting, there are like very, very distinct rows that they rooted in, which is, you know, like it's a thing. I get it. But I do think in some spots, like you can see here, it's kind of sparse. It's definitely not the worst that we've ever seen, but it's also not the best that we've had on the channel. So I just felt the need to point that out to you guys. So you're like, I don't know, aware. Then earrings, super, super cute. I love the colors. Again, like all of the colors, this iridescent, like oil slick looking color scheme, I am obsessed with. The jacket, super, super soft faux fur. Absolutely obsessed with that. I love with the lining of the jacket and then also her main outfit. That black holographic is just so, oh my god, it's so beautiful. I love it. Talking about her main outfit, all of the studs are present, which is super cool. This corner is lifting up a little bit, but it's, you know, it's not too bad. She's also like, it's very short in the back. Like this is her fully straight. She's very short in the back, which is fine. Like I'm not judging her. It's just, you know, if that bothers you, you should be aware that her dress is like really not covering anything. Then boots. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is like one of the main things that I was excited about with this doll. These are just so beautiful to me. The fabric boots, the pattern on the fabric, the colors, like I have no complaints whatsoever. They're beautiful boots. Like, oh my god. Okay. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. The last thing that Naomi came with was this bag. And I love it. I think it's really, really beautiful. Also, I really appreciate this main hole, I guess, here. Like the main handle fits her fingers. And then there's a second smaller hole here that fits her thumb. So you can slide it onto her hand very securely because there actually is a separate thumb hole, which I thought was a really excellent like design point, because obviously if you just slide her fingers in here, it might not be tight enough, it might fall off, but that actually makes it very, very secure. So I really appreciate that. And also it does Velcro open and has like an actual pocket in there. So adore the fact that the purse actually functions. Very, very happy with that. I wish we could get more of that from Rainbow High because I just feel like that quality is nice to see. Like having something like a functioning doll purse is really cool. Like, I don't know. I just really enjoy stuff like that. Okay. Next twin, Veronica. I did take out her bubble gum, so let's just go ahead and talk about that. It's not the first time that a doll line has used the peg method for like a removable bubble gum or a removable like mouthpiece. And I don't mind it. I don't think it was very well executed here. I think typically in other dolls that have done it, they've had more of an open mouth mold so that the hole is just where the teeth is, if that makes sense. Whereas on her, it definitely extends a lot into her lips. So I'm not sure. I'm probably going to try to fill that in with epoxy and paint over it because I don't know about that. That being said, I do prefer this to it being permanent. I hated the idea of the gum being stuck on there forever. And like, you don't know how much paint you're going to take off when you try to get it off if you want it off. And I think for play, keeping in mind that this is a kid's toy, I do think that the peg is a lot better. That being said, here is the bubble gum. It is cute. Like, you know, I like the shimmery effect. I like that aspect of it. But I took it out because obviously I wanted to show you for the video. However, the peg is like weirdly shaped. I don't know if this is only on mine or if it's like on all of them. I'm pushing with so much force, but it's just bending to the side. I actually thought I wasn't going to be able to get it out in one piece. I thought that it was going to fully break off because the attachment, like where it attaches, is so flimsy. So I don't think it's the best executed ever. That also could just be mine. In complete fairness, I might have just gotten one that's a little bit rough compared to other ones. So like I don't want to be too mean about that. But that's kind of my thoughts on the bubble gum. Is I don't mind that it's a peg. I think that they should have given her like an open mouth smile to fix it, but it's whatever. Other thoughts, I just said that I had been more excited about Naomi, and I still am. She's still my favorite out of the two. However, actually getting to touch Veronica and like have her out of box and see all of the stuff that she comes with, I immediately like her more upon unboxing than I did in box. I love the bangs. They're so fluffy and poofy and wonderful. She's got these cute little earrings. Her face is definitely the better of the two in terms of quality on my particular set. Obviously, like, aside from the mouth hole, like, that I'm gonna have to do something about. But her paint in general is a lot better. I will say her lips, like, don't quite go up to her molded lip line, but I would say that it's better than her sister's. And then hair-wise, we've got some accessories. Love the spiked headband. I think the bows with these, like, really dark gems are super cute. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see the rooting. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there, and I am just going to keep her in her pigtails. I'm going to wash the ends and, like, restyle them, so I'm sorry. I'm not going to check her rooting. We already know how the rooting was on her sister, so, like, I don't know. I'm sorry, okay? But then we've got the tweed set that she's got going on with, like, the feathers on the end. I honestly really like it. I feel like they did this with Natasha for Series 1 of Shadow High, and it didn't look as good to me. I think this gives a really interesting, like, frayed edge, especially with the tweed as, like, the matching material, like the material that's right next to it. It really gives the impression that she's got this beautiful tweed set, but it's roughed up. It's almost like the tweed set version of ripped jeans, where it immediately makes your jeans look slightly more edgy or slightly more lived in, or like you don't care about keeping them pristine, you know, that kind of vibe. I really, really, really like that. She's got a little top here and then the skirt. The top is the same kind of material as Naomi's, and obviously the skirt is the tweed. All of the buttons and the little charms on here are fine. The sequin accents I think look really nice. And then her shoes are actually shoes and socks. Again, the color of the shoes, so unbelievable. It reminds me of, like, my favorite kinds of nail polish, right? Like, that's immediately what I think of. And we've got that same holographic black material for the socks. I think what I love about Veronica, Naomi has more of what I would say is closer to my style, you know, something I maybe would have worn in the past. But with Veronica, I think she's got an amazingly clear aesthetic. I talked about it recently in my Rainbow High ranking, and I'm talking about it again now. Sorry, I'm not, like, trying to self-promo. But I did a video about Rainbow High having difficulties with keeping their fashion inspirations cohesive. Like, some of their characters just don't have a very clear style or a very clear inspiration. And I think with Veronica, I could be wrong because I'm not up to date on pop culture and references. So, like, maybe this is a reference to something and I don't know. So I'm just, like, completely wrong here. But assuming that it's not a reference because it's not one that I recognize, she has got such a clear sense of style. And it's so unique because you've got kind of these more preppy pieces with the tweed. She's got the pigtails and, like, the bows. She's got bows and pearls on her earrings. Like, kind of more traditionally girly, preppy sort of inspiration, but then it's all very, very dark, and it's contrasted with the spikes and the, like, super sleek socks with the spikes on her shoes again, and the feathers on the edge. And I just think it is this beautiful melding of two really opposite styles, and it's done so well. So I think that's why I like her more, seeing her out of box, is I can really appreciate that even if it's not something that I look at and I'm like, that's my favorite, it is so well executed, in my opinion. Like, I just think that is really, really beautiful, and I wish we could see more of that from Rainbow High and Shadow High, because this is a unique style, and it's clear, and I feel like you could easily make more dolls of her that have the same style. I'm obsessed. Also, obviously, both of the twins have super long nails. Love that. As someone who really enjoys nails. Mine are never painted because of my job. I can't really, like, I'm allowed to have paint, but they just get ruined immediately. So I'm living vicariously through these dolls in regards to their nails. So, wow, I definitely talked more than I intended to. Sorry. I know I said I was going to make this a quick video, but, like, I don't know. I ended up having more feelings than I thought I was going to have. So, like, that's where we are. Sorry, I'm trying to get her on her little stand. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to wrap up the video, and there's two more things that I haven't talked about. Here is Veronica's purse. I love this one. I love the, like, plastic handle here. I love the spikes on the bottom. It also opens, so again, mad props on the purse. And then I promised you we're going to talk about the price. Okay, so The price originally was $70 in the United States, which is frankly just unbelievable. I cannot think of a family-friendly word that like I can use to describe it because I'm not happy with it. That's stupid. Like, that's all I can say. Yes, they are beautiful dolls. Yes, they have two beautiful purses as their accessories. However, I can literally buy two Shadow High dolls for $60 and they both are going to come with two outfits. So like, I just am having a really hard time finding a way to justify these ever having been listed at the $60 price point, because it's two dolls with half the clothing and $10 more expensive than the other option. So I'm not happy about that. We ended up paying $60 for them, which still to me is like a little high given that they don't have second outfits, but it was easier to justify than $70. I have no idea what MGA was thinking with that. Obviously, they were just thinking like money bags. That's all that they were thinking about. But yeah, a little bit upset about the price, especially given that they have quality control issues with the faces. Everything else looks really fine. Like their clothing and everything seems okay, but her hair was not the best, and both of their faces have some issues. So like, unbelievable. So too long didn't watch, I guess, is that they are beautiful dolls. They have some slight quality control issues, and I would only buy them on sale because I think that paying $70 for this is absolutely the definition of a ripoff. So that has been my review on the Storm Twins. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do let me know your thoughts and opinions and everything down below in the comments. But yeah, if you liked the video, if you could give it a like, it would mean a lot. And if you want to see more from me, I do make videos every Monday and every Thursday. So yes, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.